decision. You are now hesitating to take any action on your original decision. So by asking everyone else for their opinion about your decision, you have allowed doubt to creep in and interfere with what originally felt so right to you. By allowing the hesitation to postpone your decisions, you have wasted a lot of years when you add it all up. By not doing what you could have done when you made that first decision, you became powerless as you struggled to trust yourself. All the hesitation and doubt lead to karma. How many more times will you hesitate before you start trusting yourself and us? That would be your spirit guides and angels. That's where this comes in. Wednesdays, my guided journey. This is where you stop those habits, where you break those habits, where you identify what it is. Only once you do that, write it down and break it down, like I help you do every Wednesday, can you stop doing that. You just won't have any power over it because it has become a habit, okay? So Ray, who do we have with us tonight?
Well, a lively crowd we have. Kimberly is with us, Gail's with us. Hi, Gail.
Hi, Gail.
See you, Gail.
Now, Gail who, Ray?
Gail Marsh.
Gail.
Star of Exploring the Human Journey.
Exploring the Human Journey, you guys.
Exploring the Human Journey.
Keep that in your mind. Every Sunday,
right.
David and Gail Marsh, the owners of Exploring the Human Journey, launch another interview that they do about exploring the human journey. They did an interview on me. I loved it. These guys are amazing. And they're professional, and they really put out a heck of a good interview each Sunday. So go to that. Isn't that the name of their Facebook page, Ray?
Right.
Exploring the Human Journey.
Right.
I catch it on Sundays. You guys are in for a treat.
A lot of interesting people that they've interviewed.
I love you guys. You guys are great. Okay, so what do we have, Ray, for this? Did we have a comment?
We did have a comment this morning.
All right.
Let me see. I have it here. From Kathy Cartagena.
On this,
on the hesitation.
on this insight.
Right. Kathy said, I can look back and I see that the hardest times in my life are when I either hesitated or failed completely to follow the guidance.
Right.
Thank you for always shining the light on what really should be obvious to us, but so many times we just don't see it.
And that's the whole point, you guys. Once you start to break it down, once you start to realize what it was and write it down, that's where my guided journey, the companion journal to guided, comes into play. Once you write it down, you start having instant power over that situation. I'm going to help you with that on Wednesdays, right here on Facebook Live, 6 p.m. Pacific. So don't miss us tomorrow night. Go ahead, Ray.
And Linda Deir responded to Kathy and said, we hesitate the moment we question the guidance. An analogy would be when we go out of body. The moment you question that experience, it stops. That's the challenge of learning to live in two worlds simultaneously, keeping the experience going without interrupting it with your rational thinking while you're still in the experience.
Yeah. See, at the beginning, I've talked about this many times. Why do you hesitate? It's because you're surprised by it. You didn't expect it. You didn't expect that insight to come through. You didn't expect to have that dream. You didn't expect to have that person walk up to you that you've never met before and just blurt something out, someone you'll never see again. I call them those agents from the universe sent in. And they may not even know that they were sent in. In fact, most of the time, they don't. All right. But they deliver that message that they were just guided to do. They didn't think about it as guidance. They just blurted it out. I call them sleeping prophets because that's kind of how it feels, you know, to the person who just said that. In fact, after they say that to you, they many times won't remember having ever said it at all. That's when you know it's really guidance, and it comes in so many. A song you heard on the radio, You know, timing. It's all timing. When people say the guides don't have timing down, that couldn't be more untrue. Okay, it's us that miss it. We get the guidance. You know, we go, wow, that was really interesting. Ooh. And then you start thinking about it, but you have other things to do. You know, you have to go to the store, pick up the kids. You got to get to work. You got all this stuff to do, this busy stuff, and that's hesitation. That's missing. You didn't miss the guidance, but you didn't do anything with it.
Yeah, it's a two-part thing. Once you make a decision, once you get guidance and you make a decision, the next thing you have to do right away is you have to take an action toward that direction of the decision.
In other words, Ray's right. In other words, what you do is the instant that the guidance comes through, that's the awareness of the guidance. Okay. The next step, instead of doing all the other things that are on your list, got to do these things, got to get them done. Okay. Instead of doing that, attend to what just entered your awareness. Attend to it now. And if that means that you can't go out and do it right now, part 3 of my guided journey, write it down so you can keep track of it. Okay, you might not be able to look back at it for several hours, but it's going to be written down. You will not lose it. This guidance feels like a dream. The minute you put your foot to the floor and when you get up in the morning, boom, the dream dissipates. It's real. It's not tangible. Okay, it's real etherical. So you have to grab a hold of it from the ethers and plant it into this world so that you don't miss the opportunity to take advantage of the guidance, or maybe to understand it first so you can take advantage of it. Okay, your life will be better, you guys, way better.
Yeah, even if you make the decision and you need to take action in that direction, and you just can't do it now, you have to do some little thing that is a little thing that takes you that. Okay,
that's right.
Here's my decision. This is what I have to do. I understand what my action is, but I can't get to it till tomorrow. But right now, I'm going to write myself a big note that says, today's the day you start with the action on your decision, and you put it up where you can see it, so you don't postpone it.
That would be another way to do it. I always recommend writing it in the book, because once you have it in here, not only do you have it in here, but you have it in chronological order. You can start to see this guidance is always coming to you. It's always coming through, bleeding through, and there's a system to this guidance. These guides are very articulate. They come through and they come through and they come through, and it's about, all you do is you document it. You grab it and document it. You grab it and document it. You just keep doing that, and then you quickly review and look back at what you have, and you just go, oh, I see it. Nobody could have told you that. No one could have shown you that, but your guides can. But they can't make you write it down. You have to take that action, all right?
Yeah, writing it down allows you to grab the entirety of the guidance.
Absolutely.
So you're not thinking 2 days later or 3 days later, oh, what was that they told me to do? Suggested I do. I know it was 3 things they said. But...
You know what it's like? It's like having a book, and there's, in this one, in part 2, there's 18 chapters. And say, you read chapter 1, then you go to chapter 4, and then you read chapter 12, and I don't know, maybe you finish the last. You've missed the whole ongoing sequence that really pulls it together for you, all right? You're missing it. It's out of context. It's jumping around. So when you don't write it down, what Ray's talking about is it's still floating out there in the ethers, and you almost start to question yourself, well, maybe I didn't get that guidance. Well, maybe it meant something else. You start to quit. It's like being in a dream where you're lucid in the dream, you know you have the dream, and you don't write it down. That's like the most powerful dream you could possibly have, a lucid dream. And you didn't write it down. Well, I didn't write it down because it didn't mean anything. You know, I had a pizza last night. It must have been the pizza I ate. You hear people say this stuff all the time. All it is an excuse to miss your guidance And I call it the cost of hesitating. There's no excuse. You know it came through. You got the information, but you know a part of you just doesn't want to have to go that deep or something like that sometimes, or you don't want to be bothered with it. You're too busy and you're tired. And I'll tell you what, you follow this guidance, you write it down, and you won't put it off for a couple of days. You will take your last 5 minutes of energy left in you at night before you go to sleep, and you'll read what you wrote down and go, wow, and go to sleep with that in your head, okay? So the guides can keep the story going, keep sending you the information, keep getting you, pointing you true north. So your life stops being a struggle, you guys. You know, once you have this, once you harness this, once you stop hesitating, you can only stop hesitating when you trust this, you. And taking the journey in part 2 will solve that. It will change your life.
Okay, I just had a little realization. I'm thinking, like, why do people hesitate? You know, what are the reasons? You know, they're too busy, whatever like that. But I think a lot of people want to hesitate. They hesitate because they want to. They don't want to take a chance on change because they're comfortable where they're at. They want to stay right where they are. It kind of protects their self-esteem. You know, if they take this chance and they take this action on the guidance they got, and what if they fail? How's it going to look to their friends?
Ray makes a great point. I'm gonna read this last part here. The cost of hesitating is not only causing you to miss your life, but it's a cycle of struggle and pain. Life is not supposed to be hard. When you learn to trust yourself and your guides, your decisions will become not only easier, but obvious. Remember, if your life is hard, you are going the wrong way. Making a decision isn't hard to make when you are connected. In fact, this is when life becomes fun. To those who are not connected, and ties into what Ray said, this will feel risky or even crazy. The most vulnerable feeling you will have in this life is to be disconnected. That's how it works at the end of this Linda's Weekly Guided Insight today on the cost of hesitating. So for those who are not used to trusting themselves, they always say, oh, that person's crazy, or I'm crazy, or they use words like that, or, oh, it's too risky. Well, what's risk? You came here to live your life. Is that risky? Yeah, well, you know, what was really risky is the decision to come here, all right? And you knew the risk that was involved, but the excitement of being here was way grander than that little insecurity that I call a risk. People call something a risk. That's like blowing it out of proportion, really, okay? It's living your life, you guys. But when you're connected, oh my God, it's like your life, it becomes fun. All this guidance becomes obvious. Why wouldn't you follow it? But until you start to write it down and track it, will you become conscious of the guidance and then conscious of what it's telling you? Until you become really proficient at doing this, will the guidance that does come through, will you connect with it right away and go, oh, I know that's guidance. Oh, I see what it's guiding me to do. Ah, I'll do it right now. Oh my God. And you just can't believe this is all happening. Now you're having fun. Now it's obvious. You're back in the game. You are in it. You are full on. You're not holding back. You're not, worried and scared and just living in this world. You're not terrified to live your life. You are all in. You're connected. You're protected. And you get the guidance and you know where true north is and you don't hesitate, even if you don't understand it. I talked about that many times in my book, Guided, where I got the guidance and I was like, oh my God. It would take me about 5 minutes to collect myself because of my lifetime of this guidance, right? Then I just go, okay, I know better than to fight this. I know better. and I'm moving on it. I just moved right into it. Now, did anyone ask me what I was doing? No. You know why? Because most of them are unconscious. Don't worry about somebody noticing that you're following your guidance. Don't worry about it. What they will notice in you is they will start to notice, well, your life looks easy. That's all through guided. Linda, you make it look so easy. Then I'd have them say, well, you don't deserve everything that you've earned and how well you've done. You don't deserve it because you didn't suffer like the rest of them, and I didn't. There's no reason to suffer, you guys.
Not if you follow your guidance.
No, that's right.
I think some people are in a position where maybe in their lifetime they were never relied upon to have to make a decision. Somebody else made the decisions for them. My mother was like that.
Right.
Well, no, that your dad takes care of it. He makes those decisions. They shy away from making a decision in the first place.
Right. And you'll see your life, however you have positioned your life, you'll know how much decisions and responsibility are like one and the same. Are you able to make that decision? Because now you can take the responsibility on. You can get it done, okay? That's what Ray's talking about. How much are you able to take on responsibility? I'm not talking about for everybody else. I'm talking about just for yourself.
And this hesitation, I think we need to look at why people hesitate. They get the guidance. They know it's good guidance. It involves them doing some work or changing.
They feel it's right.
They feel it's right. They know they should follow it. They should do something. They should change. But if they're not in the habit of making good decisions, if they have a history of making poor choices, they go out and they start second guessing themselves. And then they start going out and asking all the experts, their friends and family. It's like, well, that's looking for second opinions. That's probably good if you're going to have brain surgery. You want to get a second opinion. But these people go out and they ask all their friends and family who are disconnected, and they're asking for their opinion.
And who don't know how to listen to their own guidance.
Right.
So somebody that doesn't know how to listen to their own guidance, how could you possibly use them as a mentor, as a guide to help you with your guidance? Okay? They don't listen to their guidance. Or they think, like I read earlier, they think that maybe you're crazy, all right? Because they don't listen to theirs. That's how they would think about themselves. I can't do that. There's no evidence. There's no proof. There's nobody else is doing it. Why should I do it? That's all through guided, you guys. So many times, most of the time, I was doing something, I was going in a completely different direction. There's a meme I have where the guy's walking down the freeway. He's walking against the crowd. The whole crowd is coming this way, and one person is going that way. That would be me. Many times in my life, as people looked at me and went, "She's crazy. Are you kidding? What's wrong with you, Linda?" And I wouldn't even try to explain it to him, you guys. That's another reason this journal will be a lifesaver for you. You start writing down what you're getting, what's coming through. It will make you realize that not only are you not crazy, but now you're brilliant, okay? Now you really have the edge because it's so easy. It's just so easy to do. That's what makes it so hard to believe, is how easy it is. You're retraining your brain.
If you have made bad decisions in the past when you got guidance, you waited too long, you hesitated, whatever. Right. I mean, I'm guilty of that. I thought all the ways that I have hesitated that had consequences in the past. Okay, when I was trading the market, you get this hot stock tip. One of your friends calls you with a hot stock tip, and what do you do with it instead of jumping on it? Oh, you research it to death,
right?
Until the time has passed when you should have gotten in. So you missed the opportunity.
Okay, so if I was Ray, and I hear what he's saying, and that's one of the ways that we lose our opportunities. But I would have, when that person said that to me, I would have let my gut speak to me. I would have let my heart speak to me. I would have let this wisdom come through. All right. I would have went to lunch and had a nice lunch and not even think about it. And then boom, it comes through. Don't do it, or do it now.
Right.
Okay. I don't think it into oblivion, like what Ray was talking about, researching it, to death. And then even if it was a good tip, you missed its window. Right. So you just want to listen to your gut, listen to your heart, let it go. You got the guidance or whatever that was, okay? The tip from somebody in this world, just let it go, let it show, release the whole thing. And if it's meant to be, if it's truly good for you, guidance will come through and let you know. That's how it works.
There's even phrases for hesitating. They don't say they're going to hesitate or vacillate on a thing. They say a couple gets together and they have a big purchase. They're going to make a house. They're going to buy a house.
Right.
And they know it's a good deal. They have everything. They're qualified to do it right now. But they say, well, let's sleep on it. We want to sleep on it.
That's good.
We think, well, we want to sleep on it because we think interest rates are going to rise. And they sleep on it, and they sleep on it, and they sleep on it.
Well,
what happens?
Okay, that's about a month later.
Interest rates do rise.
All right.
So there's consequences to the vacillating or the hesitating. There's always consequences.
The hesitation doesn't have to do with whatever comes through your left brain. It doesn't have to do with that. Hesitating happens. The hesitation I'm talking about is when you get the guidance and you hesitate.
Right.
Okay, what Ray's talking about is braining it to death and only confusing yourself. Okay, so he got that tip from that person about this great stock, all right? There's nothing to hesitate about. You hand it off. You just hand it off to your guides and go, hey, let me know. If this is right for me, when in chapter 4 of Guided, I was done with dating. I was freaking done, okay. And I said to my guides, I said, if I meet the right one, give me a sign. Otherwise, I'm not going to go there. I'm not doing this again. So, and then when I did meet the right one, they came through and they told me over a telephone while I was on a phone call, like an old party line, and busted through the phone call and said, lose your rules, Linda. He is the one.
Yay.
All right. Okay, so I said, hey, I'm handing it off. Let me know, and if I hadn't gotten anything back from them, I would have passed on this deal, okay? I would have done that. I really meant that. So when you hand it off to your guys, you go, hey, you guys, I'm going to hand it off to you, and if it's right for me, give me a sign. Let me know, all right? And they'll give you a great big sign.
Right.
But that's not hesitating.
No.
What Ray's talking about is not hesitating. What I'm talking about is not hesitating. It's handing it off. Now, when the guidance comes through, if you hesitate, that's when you miss the window.
Well, knowing what I know now about working with the guides, if somebody gave me a hot stock tip now, and thank God they don't, because I would never play the market. I haven't played the market in years.
Never say never, and that's another lesson.
There you go.
Never say never.
There you go. So you get a good stock tip. I wouldn't try to research it to death or go out and do this, do that. I'd ask the guides, why? Why is this a good time for me to buy into this stock right now? That's the only question I would need an answer to.
And if you didn't receive an answer, the why would be irrelevant.
Right.
There would be no reason to get into it, so they'd never answer your question.
Right.
This is how they communicate with you, okay?
But people normally get a hot stock tip, and they, like I say, research it to death, and 3 days later it goes up 300%.
That's not the same hesitation I'm talking about.
Right.
They already ruined that possibility, if there was one, with overthinking it.
That's injecting doubt
That is
into the situation.
true.
Right.
Absolutely
Fear
true.
and doubt.
That's right. Rita, what do we have on our panel there?
We have a bunch of really swell people.
You guys.
Stacy, hi Stacy. Kimberly.
Stacy, Kimberly.
Veronica. Gail. I saw some other people here too. Stacy Core.
Do we have any questions?
We have two Stacys. Stacy B, Stacy C. Kimberly Wilson. Isn't hesitation a way to protect ourselves sometime? Ooh, that's a good question.
Okay, and you know what we're going to do? We're going to let the guides talk to you about. They're going to answer that for you, because I think I've really talked it out pretty well, and Ray has done some things here that make us think about it, you know, and think about what hesitation is not. Okay, it's not what you think. Okay, and then you hesitate with that. It's what comes through that's timely from your guidance that you don't want to hesitate on. Okay, and we're going to let them, again, the question.
Okay, the hesitation isn't hesitation a way to protect ourselves sometimes?
Is hesitation a way to protect ourselves sometimes? And here they go.
Hesitation is a sign that you lack confidence in yourself. You are not protecting yourself by not following guidance you know is right for you. You also may hesitate if you are too comfortable where you are right now. If you're too comfortable, you don't want things to change. And if you go the other way and are overwhelmed in your life, too busy, you also hesitate when you should be looking for ways to cut things out of your life that cause you to feel overwhelmed.
Don't you love this? This is like every time we do this, it's like a conversation that you have with your guides. They're always right there, you guys. That's why this is what will ramp up your awareness, your consciousness, all right? And clear out the debris that fogs you over, that makes you doubt yourself, that gets in the way of living the life you intended before you got here. I always say that. So,
some people always use the excuse, well, I don't have enough information. I mean, your guides would never leave out information out of the guidance.
They will tell you what you need to know to get you moving in that direction. And then as you move in that direction, they will tell you more and tell you more and keep sending you more and keep, keeping you on track and keeping it precise and course correcting 10 degrees or whatever it takes to keep you on your path, you guys.
And because they know they have your attention.
That's right.
And you're paying attention. And you're moving step by step.
And when you feel like you're not getting all the guidance, you got to write it down. As soon as you start writing this stuff down, it just keeps coming through. You're going, oh my God, this is like a magic book. It won't shut up. Okay? So what's that one thing you said, Ray? You said, if I write a book about the guides, that's funny.
Yeah.
You said,
who are these spirit guides and why do they keep bothering me?
Sometimes people feel like that. By the way, I've never felt like that. It's like I get the guidance. It's ongoing, living in both worlds. This one and the one you came from. Your guides came with you on this journey in this life. They agreed to be with you every step of the way, sending you guidance to keep you from getting totally pulled in over here where this is all you think there is. It's about bringing them together, okay, and living both worlds together and putting yourself back together again. But until you can trust who this is, until you know My guidance was good. I acted on it. It paid off.
Right.
That was wonderful. Okay, this other time, it didn't pay off. Why didn't it pay off? Because I wanted the guidance to be like this. So I made it up. I made up the fact that I got guidance when I didn't. Because I wanted that. I wanted that new house. I wanted that new car, that other baby. I wanted it. So I pretended that it was guidance. I convinced myself that it was guidance. Don't do that. Don't do that. You will know the difference. You will feel that icky feeling inside going, ooh, my stomach just turned. What did I do to myself? What am I thinking? Am I delusional? Yes. In those cases, you are. It's only once when you think you received the guidance, when you think you did, you write it down. In the beginning, you'll be a little awkward. Write it down. Look back at it in 2 or 3 days, and you will know if that was guidance or not. You will know it. You will feel it. You will feel it.
Hesitation makes you feel stupid. Okay?
It does.
I have an
Missed
example.
opportunities.
I have an example that happened today to me. Are you ready? Where'd I go today? I went grocery shopping, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What happens to people when they're at the grocery store, or Costco especially, when there's 20 checkout lines? All right? You're thinking, well, which one can I get into that's going to be the fastest so I can get out of here? So you get in this line, but you're looking over at the other line that looks a little shorter, it's going a little faster. So you go, well, should I go over there or should I stay here? And by the time you think, I'm going to go over there, 2 other people ran in front of you and got in that line. So you turn around to get back in the line you were, and somebody else is ahead of you there now. So you hesitated, and there was a consequence.
So why did you change lanes?
Because it was shorter.
It appeared to be
shorter and faster. But by the time I thought it to death, should I go? Should I stay? Should I go? And I started to go.
How would you do it differently now?
Yeah, look shorter. Go. Go right away. Take action right away.
Right.
Don't let 2 people cut in front of you when you're on your way over there.
Okay, and I want to say this, hesitation in the beginning while you're still working this out, where you really begin to get the guidance, connect with it, get it, okay? Before you get really good at it, you got to start writing it down. You are not skilled at this. You have to write. Part 3, my journal writing. You have to start writing it down. Then you're going to see the hits and the misses, and you're going to see where you were making it up, where you wanted it to be your way, and it wasn't guidance, and you made it up, okay? You're going to do that. You're going to catch yourself, all right? That's why this is so important. It won't take you long. I'm going to say within a month, if you do this diligently, like I'm telling you to do this, it won't take you more than a month to start catching yourself, going, oh, that's me in the way. That's my ego playing games with me again because I'm so good at it. I've done it for so long. Okay, and I know now what guidance really feels like. Guidance feels like patience. I'm not talking about the part where you get the guidance and then you're patient. No, I'm talking about patience so the guidance can come through. And then don't hesitate.
The hesitation causes people to lose more opportunities than you would think.
We're anxious. What happens is why you jump like that, why you pretend and make it up, it's because you're anxious. You're not used to being patient, you guys. We're all in a hurry. We got to get there. Got to do this. It's just one thing after the other that we're chasing. We got to cut that stuff out. The guidance doesn't work like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, there's only, when you get guidance, there's 3 times you can act on it, right? Right now, make a decision and act on it.
Right.
You can act on it tomorrow. And then there's the people who say, I should have done that yesterday. There's the regret.
Right.
From hesitating,
where
there comes regret.
Right, where you already hesitated and missed it.
You never want to have to say, I should have done it yesterday.
Right.
Because that's like, it was something handed to you on a silver platter, guidance, and you agreed with it, He knew it was right.
Ray torments himself.
I do.
Doesn't he? He really torments himself from missed opportunities. That would be the thing that haunts you the most.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's different than guidance. Okay, he's almost ready to pounce too fast because he's missed opportunities in the past. He's thinking in the past. He's thinking about all that depression he went through, from all those missed opportunities. That is not guidance. That's not how you reach guidance. And I love it when Ray talks about this stuff because I have never lived my life like that. Okay, I'm out of the box. Ray has lived his life like most people.
Right.
Pushed and shoved and, feels obligated to take an action, but, doesn't want to disappoint anybody, but, he doesn't want to lose anything at the same time. But then when he does and he hesitates, so it's coming from the left brain. That's not what this is about. This is about being patient with the process. You don't have the answer about something that you're thinking about taking action on, that you're going to move on, all right? You just hand it off to the guides. Just say, hey, give me a sign. Let me know. Let me know how to treat the situation, what to do, if I should do anything, if I should do it now, right now. Let me know. And they will let you know.
If you have any doubts.
But you have to write it down. You have to write down what it is you want to know. Because when the guidance comes through, because you're not used to doing this, when the guidance comes through, you won't recognize it as guidance that just answered that request that you wrote down. I promise you that you won't. You have to write down what your question is, what your concern is, so that when it does come through, you'll go, well, I never, ever would have thought that. You know that's guidance. That did not come from you, did it?
Right.
Now don't hesitate. But if you left brain the thing to death, you're already out of business. You already went down the wrong road. Yeah. Write the question down. Don't think it to death. Just put it in here and then hand it off.
Yeah. Going back to the hot stock tip, being cautious does not equal not trusting yourself. So if you get a hot stock tip and you feel you should act on it right now, and you have $10,000 to invest, but you're going, invest 5. You're taking action. You're injecting doubt.
Now, okay, let me ask you something, Ray. Is this where you got guidance? Or is this where you feel the urgency? It's where, is it where, I want to ask you,
Huh?
Is it a demeanor where you're calm? That's real important, by the way. You're calm about it, and you're patient, and you're not in any hurry. In fact, as soon as you hand it off to the guides, you forget all about it. You write it down so you don't forget what you asked. So when the guidance comes through, that's the guidance, okay, to the question.
Yeah, you got guidance. So one of your friends called you up with a hot stock tip. That was the guidance. They were a messenger with the guidance. In those days when I was, playing in the stock market, well, not playing, but professionally trading, I didn't consult my guides to get stock tips. I did. I studied, I researched, but sometimes one of my friends who I trusted would say, take a look at this. And I say, being cautious, take action, but you don't have to put all your money in it. Don't put all your
Okay, let's let the guide
eggs in
answer.
the basket.
I'm now moving myself out of that position, and I'm letting the guides talk to him, right? That's the way you do it. Just let the guides reach you. Here they go.
Why did you think that you didn't have enough information to make a decision? Isn't getting guidance from a friend a messenger who showed up at a synchronistic time enough? you could think it to death and not take action. But it's better to get things in motion as soon as possible.
Okay, but what about the motivation? Ray is already invested emotionally in making all this money.
Most stock traders are invested in not losing their money.
Okay, but that doesn't answer the question. The question is about listening to your intuition, your gut, your heart, listening to what's really going on, calming down and being patient with that process.
I think that's probably the biggest thing I had trouble with when I, for those 9 years I was a stock trader.
Let's let them finish their thought.
It's only when you are centered that you can hit the bullseye.
That's right. And when I say calm and what's the two words I use? Calm and patient.
Patient. Yeah.
What I'm really saying is being present.
Right.
When you're present, you're not invested in the past. You're not invested in the future. You're not outside of the present moment. And that's where the guides can come through clearly and give you that confirmation or that whatever it happens to be, okay?
Yep.
To take the pressure off. Ray went through a horrible amount of pressure in those days. Okay?
That was the days of day trading. Your present moment might only last 3 minutes.
So his intuition became very sharp going through that process. It really did, Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah. He had to be quick on his feet, and most of the time, almost all of the time, he worked by himself. So he had the advantage of not being, not having interference when it came to listening to himself. Yeah.
That's why I did most of my trading when I was alone in Sedona.
Right. You
Nobody
were all
bothered me.
right. No one was around.
Right.
So, you find that quiet moment, that quiet time, and whatever you do, always write the question down that you need an answer to. Always write the guidance down that's constantly coming through. Okay. Tomorrow night, Wednesday, 6 p.m. right here on Facebook. Join me. We're going to be doing this. Okay. All right.
Wednesday nights are getting more and more exciting.
They are. And Ray, do we have anybody else have?
Let's see if we have any more
All
questions.
right.
If not, I have some brilliant
I'm going to finish this, Ray.
quotations. Okay. He's channeling. Yes, I was. Thank you, Stacy. Roxana said, so is that his guidance talking to him? Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yes, because if I already knew that, I wouldn't have to ask
You
for
wouldn't have to
guidance.
ask. Right, exactly. Right. That would be the equivalent of writing it down for you. And if you don't know, you write it down. So then when the guidance comes through, you can match it up. You'll see where it belongs. You'll see what question it answered. All right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what we're going to, I need to finish this, Ray, okay?
Sure.
So before the spirit guides bring through their closing message for today's insight, we want to let you know about tomorrow, Wednesday. I've been bringing that up tonight. June 19th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Join me on my Facebook page right here, Linda Deir, author. We're going to be talking about getting your life back. Bring your questions about any chapter you need help with in part 2 of my guided journey. Your spirit guides and I will help you break through those memory blocks to get your life back. Now, we're talking about get your life back. Okay, so what are you talking about? Get my life back. I'm talking about repetitious issues, things that continue to feel like Groundhog Day. It repeats itself. God, when's it going to stop? Haven't I done this long enough? A job that you don't like, a relationship you're in that you dread, something that feels like a boulder on your back, repetition. Why it keeps happening and how to heal it. We're going to talk about that. So it doesn't matter what chapter you want to work on. We're just going to get into getting your life back. And when I help one of you, two of you, three of you show up, and I'm going to help you with this, I'm going to point you to the chapter that it relates to. Okay? And so you quit missing the guidance. That's what's going to happen from taking these steps and joining me on Wednesdays. Okay? So come with your questions about getting your life back.
We have a question from Roxanne. She's new.
Okay. Hi, Roxanne.
She wants to know about the disc. What's the disc?
Okay. This is Ask the Universal Channel. This is what it's based on the principles of dowsing. You can either use a pendulum or you can use this like Ray and I do. It's faster the way we do this with the speller that comes with it.
It's faster because you've been doing it for 30 years.
Yeah.
And we've been doing it together 15 years.
Right. Actually, this is the 30-year anniversary for Ask the Universal Channel. And it came through in December of 1988 when my dream teacher asked me over for dinner. And they brought out the Ouija board, right?
Yeah.
And their guides, my guides came through and they told me all kinds of things. I had never been in a channeling session before that. And they asked me if I would be willing to create this new talking board the guides had in mind to help humanity, so they could help humanity on a higher level, and one that would not cause fear and caution. And that's what this is. It came to me in my dreams from my guides. My background is architecture, so I had the ability to draw it out. This is all hand done, and draw it out, and I had it done and produced and completely manufactured within less than a year. So that's what this is. And do you want to tell her how you, Ray, how you guides would like to answer her regarding regarding Ask the Universal Channel? We'll let them tell you the way that they want to tell you about it.
We would rather communicate telepathically, but we see that you must start somewhere, and this is where you begin to get our messages. It's like training wheels, and it is designed so you can use it alone or with a partner.
In other words, when you use a pendulum, you use it alone, right?
Right. Linda didn't know at the time when she designed this 30 years ago that this shape, this diameter, is perfect for a pendulum.
Yeah.
There's been many talking boards, or spirit boards, whatever you call them, on the market. None of them can you use with a pendulum.
And another thing about this is it's not suggestive at all. It's clean. It's to the point, and this is the way that the guides wanted it. They didn't want any suggestive colors or anything, nothing. So,
did you tell them there's 3 versions?
No.
3 versions.
Yeah.
This is the official, original version, and these are manufactured. And on the website, you will see 2 other versions. One that looks just like this that you can print.
Same scale.
Right, same
size.
scale, same color. You have a color printer. It'll print out, look exactly like this with the speller. And we also have an online digital version that you can put up on your computer screen, on your laptop, on your tablet, or on your smartphone. And you can use a pendulum on your tablet or smartphone, or if you use it on your computer screen, the mouse becomes the speller.
That's right.
Pretty handy, huh?
And since she asked, we'll show them the last part of this, right? Right here.
Yeah. If you're going to use it, if you're going to use the digital online version,
this is the pendulum that we sell separately from the talking board from Ask the Universal Channel, but it's a match to it.
Right. What you want on your smartphone or on your tablet is a pendulum that has a point and not blunt. So you want to be able to see exactly where it's pointing to on your smartphone.
Right, because it's smaller.
It's smaller, and this is got the spirit guide at the top. If you have your own stones that you'd like to use on the larger version, you can switch them out. The hardware's there. You can put any of your own stones or crystals on there.
And this is all stainless steel.
Right.
It's really made well.
Yep.
Now, what's it say on the back, Ray?
It says, hold the photo in your hand, ask for our help, breathe in our energy, and let it work.
And that's all there is to it. It just takes practice. We have a secret group on Facebook called Ask the Universal Channel. You in the description, Ray, you put the links up. Okay, what you want to do is go to, you'd want to email us at info@channeledreadings.com to get instructions on how to get into the group, because it's secret. And these are students of Ask the Universal Channel that teach each other how to use this, okay, that have already learned from Ray and I, right?
Yeah, and they are really
very good
teachers. They meet 2 or 3 times a week.
It's free.
It's free.
It's all free.
They give free lessons.
The talking board, the official talking board, is $36, and the other 2 talking board versions are $9.95. Not a deal killer, you know. Okay, and the pendulum is $29. Okay, so let's move on here. Okay, next Tuesday, June 25th, join me right here on my Facebook page, Linda, Deir Author, and this will be a Q&A and commentary with me and my spirit guides at 6 p.m. Pacific time, so don't miss it. In Linda's weekly guided insights, my spirit guides will be talking about when guidance presents pauses and detours. Do we ever send you bad guidance? No, we don't. So when you receive guidance that you don't like or it's inconvenient, pause and ask yourself why you are receiving this guidance at this time. Do you need to slow down the pace? Take another look at your plan. Hire some help in order to accomplish your plan. Or maybe you just need a quiet vacation to get away from the plan altogether, to get an objective perspective about the plan. It's during this pause that you will see and allow us to reveal the flaws in your plan. Write it down so you can look back at it in order to understand what this pause is telling you, what we are telling you, your spirit guides and angels. That's going to be next week. So it kind of ties into hesitating, doesn't it? It kind of does. It really all speaks the same language. We just attack it from a different direction to get you to light up, to get you to see where you keep going off track. And it's okay if you find yourself going a little bit 10 degrees off, 20 degrees off, just stop, calm down, pause, and let the guidance come through. It will come through. It's been trying to reach you, but you've been busy. You've been preoccupied. Your calendar's filled up, you know. So there's no excuse good enough to miss that guidance, because it takes the stress out of your life, all right? And actually, it makes your life fun. That's the life you came here to live, you guys. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be exciting. You get this guidance. Oh my God, I can't believe I got this guidance, and I know it's guidance, and I'm going with it. I don't know quite what it is, where it's going to ultimately lead me, or or anything like that. My book, Guided, it tells you moment after moment after moment in my life. It's my true life story about the guidance that came through, the action that I took, and how it saved me time and time again, how it put me in exactly the right position at that moment. And then just when things were really cooking and I was really doing really well, like 5 or 6 years later, the guides would come through and say, get out, sell everything, okay, in my businesses. And man, were they right. It's a good thing I didn't hesitate.
Vacillate.
Yeah.
deliberate.
Your life is supposed to be fun, you guys. Exciting. The guidance, following your guidance, is exciting.
Okay. Roxana has a couple questions here, or comments. She gets messages. She's the one that asks questions about the board.
Right.
She gets messages pretty clear all the time for others.
Right.
But for herself, it's unclear sometimes.
Right. You know, that's pretty normal. That's why join me on Wednesday, Roxanne, okay? Because we're gonna stop that from happening. That's gonna change for you. When I take you on this journey, part 2 of my guided journey, it's available on Amazon, just like all my books are. You don't have to have the book to join in, because tomorrow night we're going to be talking about getting your life back. If you just come in with issues around getting your life back, okay, I can take you on the journey. I'll take you there, and I'll point out the chapter that relates to your particular inquiry, okay? But it's not at all unusual. What's happening is you are too close to the situation because the answer is for you, okay? That's why when people get together on the secret group on Facebook, Ask the Universal Channel, they work with each other. What they do is they ask one question that one of the people working together have, and it's live, just like this. They're on Zoom, and you see everybody's face, and you see them all channeling, and it's secret, so nobody else outside of the group can see any of this. And you watch and you see how each one of you are doing it. In fact, you can participate, and you can just sit there and just do nothing. You can just be a part of the situation. You might even get the information telepathically, like the guides said tonight. They would rather speak to all of us telepathically. That's the language that we used to speak before we got here, okay? That's the language of choice outside of this dimension. So try to come and experience what this is like. Okay, what you want to do is you want to go to info, you want to send me an email at info@channeledreadings.com, and Ray will send you the instructions to get into the group and where to go to get one of these. You got to get one of these before you can get in, because you don't have anything to work with. All right.
Right. And Roxanne, you can see in the feed, in the comment feed, a couple of the people who were the teachers.
Yeah, Veronica's one of them.
Veronica Baca.
Is Kathy with us?
Kathy is right here, and you want to connect
back and forth. Kathy and Veronica, feel free to talk
to Roxanne.
They are there's 3 primary teachers now on the secret group Ask the Universal Channel on Facebook, and those are 2 of them.
So last week, Kimberly Williams got some guidance from her guides about doing a series in her paintings, in her...
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
She says that she wanted to share the theme
for
her new painting series, thanks to her guides, Birds with Attitude.
Ooh. So what happened, was it last week?
Wait. Yeah, it was last week.
Her guides in
the Thursday session.
In the Thursday session, talked to her about, I think it was Wednesday, right?
Was it Wednesday?
Yeah. Anyway, come to Wednesday, Roxanne, and you're going to be amazed at the progress you're going to make and how your guides are going to help you with that, okay? So what we're going to do now is, are we ready to close the session, Ray?
I don't think there's any more questions. They are amazing, says Kimberly Williams. Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to, like we always do on Tuesdays, we're going to close the session with the Spirit Guides and Angels closing message about today's insight on the cost of hesitating. And here they go.
Take a look at all the things that cause hesitation. Fear, doubt, lack of confidence, too comfortable in your current position. You feel overwhelmed with your life. You don't like to be pressured to make decisions. You go out and get too many second opinions. Think you don't have enough information to make a decision. Or sometimes you're just stubborn. These are all red flags in your life that keep you stuck. Once you learn how to hear us, you must write down what we say and decide how you will take action based on how you feel about the guidance and what you realized.
That follows the format. You want to move that video?
Yeah.
I'll knock that away. That follows the format in this journal. There's 4 steps that you take. Write it down. And once you write it down, how did that make you feel? And once you wrote it down and you've identified how that makes you feel, what did you realize? It comes right through. It's instant. And now that you wrote it down, you know how it feels and what you realize. Now, you can take action.
Take action.
You've got the capability of taking the action. But until you go through this process, you'll be missing a piece and wondering and lost and doubting yourself like you're used to doing, okay? No. When you're done with this journey, part 2, chapter 1 through 18, you will never doubt yourself again. You will be living the life you intended. You will be having fun at this, okay?
When I was thinking about today's subject, hesitation, I had to chuckle a little bit because I grew up in Ohio, in the Midwest, where one of the best examples, or worst examples, however you look at it, of hesitating are squirrels. Where I grew up, there was a lot of squirrels.
Yeah.
And you were always seeing them flattened out in the middle of the road. Okay, now, squirrels are on this side of the road, and they feel like they want to get to the other side. And they realize that they can do it. Okay, all they have to do is watch, and when there's no cars coming, run across the road. But what do? They run halfway across, and they stop, and they look some more, and then they take off again.
Oh, no.
Bad examples.
Okay, so
That's the cost of hesitation.
Here, that's a perfect thing to bring up. When you write it down, and then you get the guidance, you feel it. It didn't come from you. It came through you. That's guidance, okay? You don't hesitate. You don't start going halfway into it and start to get scared and your knees start knocking. Not at all. You just keep moving through it because you know what? You're using your GPS. You're in both worlds now, okay? And you're learning to walk in both worlds. You're learning to do this. I want you to know this is not new to you. You knew how to do this when you first got here. This is everything that you already know.
You just have to remember it.
That's all this is. It's triggering that memory, boom, 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 and it's waking you back up again. And you know, you guys, I've got to tell you that once you do this, your life will never be the same ever again. Good riddance to struggling. Okay?
All these things that cause you to hesitate, the lack of self-esteem, the lack of courage, the I can't do it, I'm not smart enough, maybe I need this, maybe I need that. All of that was programmed into you
to the degree that,
as a child.
To the degree that you do what Ray's talking about means that you're overweighted in this world.
Right.
Okay, and you're just barely able to pull the other one in, the one you came from, where the guidance resides. Okay, but pretty soon, it's going to balance itself out. You are going to make the connection, and you're going to be in one piece again. Now we're talking. Okay, now this is your life. Okay, let's have fun at this.
And this is how you get it back.
That is.
All those things they told you
Wednesday
as a child, all those things they programmed into you, your parents, teachers, society.
They didn't know any better.
Right.
They didn't mean it. They didn't mean it.
That's what they were taught.
Right, that's right. But that doesn't give us an excuse to miss our life, right? We didn't come here just to keep coming back again. Now, come on, let's just get this thing. And so tomorrow night, once again, it's about getting your life back. It's about breaking through those memory blocks, okay? That's what we help you do. Because until you can remember what happened, what blocked you originally, can the toll gate come up and you are granted access. And never, never will that toll gate drop again.